Alright guys, welcome to the video today. So obviously a lot of things happened throughout the June update. Sunsingers got nerfed really badly, gunslingers were tweaked, night stalkers were tweaked, and shoulder charge, the titans, the striker titans are a big topic right now on Twitter. Everyone's saying the titans are the new meta, the titans are the new sunsingers, and that striker titans are OP now, and that juggernaut's OP, lightning grenades need a nerf, all this nonsense. And I feel like that's a perfect example of what we're doing wrong as a community. Every single subclass that we've loved and that was really fun to play, we essentially complain about it so much to the point that Bungie has no choice but to poop on the subclass. We saw what we did to Blade Dancer, we now see what we did to Sunsinger, and if you want Striker to become that next class, then go ahead and complain about it. But honestly, in the situation we're in right now, it's not something like it was with Sunsingers, even relatively close to that. Before, it was widely considered impossible to win if you were, had two teams of equal skill, 3 versus 3 of the same exact player, and one team was 3 Sunsingers in trials. People would just say that the Sunsingers would automatically win because of how OP the firebolt grenades were. That's not at all the case, I don't think, with any of the subclasses now. What I'm listing in this video are strong subclasses, but not necessarily OP. I feel like although we're getting slower and slower as every update comes out, at the same time we're getting closer and closer as far as complete balance goes. You can pretty much get away with running any subclass loadout with any weapon you want and still do decent, which I think is a good thing, but at the same time it has kind of pushed a lot of people away from the game because they see the subclasses they knew and they loved get completely torn apart, and the abilities specifically that belong to those classes that everyone found OP were completely eliminated from the subclass. And that's a problem for a lot of people, but I do think at the end of the day, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I can't answer that as far as like a black and white question, but as far as like balance goes, I do think it's a good thing for the game. As far as fast-paced gameplay and enjoyable PvP, that's a different question that I'm going to save for a different video later on. But in this video, it's just talking about not necessarily OP subclasses, because I don't really think we have any of those anymore. It's just more about the, completely well-rounded subclasses, something that has good grenades, good movement ability, good melee, good super. And that's kind of what I wanted to base this video around. So just from my experiences from the past few weeks of post-June update play, it seems like the Night Stalker and the Striker are the way to go as far as PvP subclasses goes. Yes, Sunbreaker is a good option for 6v6. It seems like hammers are pretty good now, and it just doesn't seem like it's as consistent as Striker as far as like grenades and melee ability goes. It's still really good, but being that the community now seems like it's more based and geared towards 3v3 and Rumble, I'd say the Striker is a lot better than the Sunbreaker in that aspect. Striker has a grenade that is super strong, has a really big area of effect, and does a lot of damage. If you run away from someone, perfectly place a grenade around a corner, and you hit them once in a head or with a headshot from a hand cannon, it's gonna one-shot them 90% of the time. Also, if you can run at people and you're skating at them super fast, obviously that's also a really good plus as far as the Titan subclass goes, or the Striker subclass goes. Being able to skate with shoulder charge is really nice. Juggernaut is super strong. If you can get close to someone at all and get a shotgun pellet on them, most of the time your melee doing as much damage as it does, it's going to finish them off. Just having a melee that does that much damage, a super strong and reliable grenade, as far as a really nice super and really nice movement ability, is what I think makes the Striker so good. It's just really reliable and there's not really any flaws in it as far as consistency goes, and that's my favorite thing about subclasses, is just being able to consistently do well with them and something that's applicable to all situations, which also leads me to my next decision, which is Night Stalker. A lot of people on Twitter were thinking that Night Stalker post nerf only having one shade step was going to be really bad, because it seems like they get in situations where they need 2 of them and that there's not really a reason to run the subclass anymore. Personally, I haven't found that to be the case. I never really use Shade Step twice in a gunfight anyways, especially when you're engaging someone with a shotgun. Running up to them, Shade Stepping, and then pulling out your shotgun really isn't the way to go. If you've played with, Shade Step and shotgun before, you'd know that when you Shade Step, pulling your shotgun out of Shade Step is super clunky and it's really awkward and slow. And it's just overall a lot better of a decision to slide around a corner, shotgun, and then Shade Step away, What I do usually is if I see someone around a corner on my radar, I slide towards them shotgun, and you know, personally I play on Puppeteer, so I shade step by clicking R3 twice. So what I do is I run around the corner, slide at them, and the first time I press my R3 is when I'm shooting my shotgun, and then the second time is right after I've shot it. So at the same moment that I'm pressing R2, I'm pressing R3, and what that allows me to do is once I click it the second time, I shade step immediately after shooting my shotgun bullet, and at that point in time I press triangle, which on PlayStation is the button to choose or to switch weapons rather. It doesn't, I mean, depending on what console you play on, it's going to be different, but essentially you want to press the button that switches your weapon in between the shade step animation. That way when you shade step backwards, you're going to be coming out of shade step with your primary. Personally, my preference is Hawksaw. It's really stable and it's really reliable out of shade step. It doesn't really feel clunky at all, and from that point on, if you got them to half health, you can always finish them with your primary. Having a good melee and grenade is also something that I like about the Night Stalker. A lot of people were also making out Wombo Combo to be terrible. Personally, I use the wall grenade, the void wall grenade from the Night Stalker. I didn't use the vortex grenade, so I didn't really wombo people that much, but still having smoke and a really good grenade like that as a utility is nice. If you know someone's in a corner and you get used to the placement and the angle of the void wall grenade, it's still really powerful and you can catch a lot of people by surprise with it. And just having a really good movement ability like shade step, like increased control jumping, for shotgunning especially, is just really powerful, and I feel like it's one of the most consistent playstyles out there. Maybe if you didn't read the June update, you wouldn't know this, but actually, like before the patch, if someone was running at you with a Stormcaller, and even if you direct hit them with your tether, they wouldn't get tethered until like a second later. So what happened is someone would run at you, you'd shade step away, you'd launch your super, and you'd hit them direct on point, and then they'd kill you, and then eventually they'd be tethered like a second later. In the June update, it was fixed to the point where when you hit someone directly, they're going to be tethered instantly and you can kill them. So now it has really good potential for shutting down other supers, and that's kind of how I concluded. That's how I kind of got to where I am right now as far as my favorite subclasses. I apologize if my voice sounds raspy right now. I've been recording this for about an hour now. It's like 100 degrees in my room, and I wanted to make a video for you guys. So I've been recording for an hour, and this is all I was able to get done. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and hope you enjoy playing post-June update. And yeah, I hope I see you guys in my next video. Peace.